Good day. This is LL3's podcast. My name is Craig, and today is December 19th, 2013. And it's a nice, beautiful day. Very mild at this time along the swampy mangroves of South Florida. And so what I'm be doing today is going to narrate an article that was written a couple of days ago, actually on Tuesday. It was written by Dave Bowen, and it's entitled Federal Judge Rules Utah Polygamy Ban Unconstitutional. And this is under the New American website at newamerican.com. Plus, I will link this on the title page on my Spreaker account, okay? Now let us begin. A federal judge in Utah has struck down a key portion of that state marriage law that makes polygamy illegal, raising concerns among pro-family leaders that the nation may be entering a new phase, an all-out attack on marriage. On December 13th, Judge Clark Woodruff of the U.S. District Court of Utah struck down a portion of the state law that prohibits polygamous cohabitation, ruling that it violated the both First and 14th Amendments to the U.S. Constitution. The ruling came in response to a lawsuit by Cody Brown and his 4 wives, who are subjects of the reality show Sister Wives on the TLC network. I'll only watch it, so move on. Brown is only legally married to one of the women, but the religious sect, the 5 belonging to the called Apostolic United Brethren, embraces polygamy and holds that Brown and the other 3 women are married in a spiritual union. While all states ban polygamy, having 2 marriages at one time, Utah prohibits polygamous cohabitation, a law Brown and wives contended violates their freedom of religion as well as their privacy rights. Woodruff's ruling concurred with that charge. Baptist Press News noted that in his ruling, Woodruff took issue with a 1973 state law that says a person is guilty of bigamy when knowing he has a husband or wife, or knowing the other person has a husband or wife. The person purports to marry another person or cohabits with other person. In this decision, Woodruff referred to the 2003 Supreme Court ruling in Lawrence versus Texas, which struck down laws prohibiting sodomy. Consensual sexual privacy is the touchstone of the rational basis review analysis in this case. As in Lawrence, Woodruff wrote, the court believes that plaintiffs are correct in their argument that prohibiting cohabitation under the statute, it is, the state has equated private sexual conduct with marriage. ChristianNews.net noted that because Brown does not claim to be married to all of the women, nor does the state ban cohabitation in other relationships, Woodruff threw out the cohabitation section of the statute while upholding the prohibition on bigamy. Wrote Woodruff, the court finds cohabitation prong of the statute unconstitutional on numerous grounds and strikes it. As a result, and to save the statute, the court adapts its interpretation of marry and purports to marry, thus allowing the statute to remain in force as prohibiting bigamy in the lateral sense. Baptist Press News noted that, in effect, Woodruff legalized polygamy as a practice in Utah, primarily by members of fundamentalist spin-offs of the Mormon religion. Such polygamous households typically do not have multiple marriage licenses, but treats all relationships between a man and the women with whom he lives as marriages. Woodruff ruled the cohabitation section of Utah's anti-polygamy law violated the Free Religious Exercise Clause of the United States Constitution, First Amendment, and the Due Process Clause of the 14th Amendment. The Associated Press reported that a spokesman for the Mormon Church, the LDS, which is Latter-day Saints, says its members do not practice polygamy, and polygamous organizations have no affiliation with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Despite the fact the term Mormon is sometimes misleading applied to them. Attorney Jonathan Turley, who represented Brown and his wives in federal court, told reporters that homosexuals and polygamists do have a common interest: to be left alone as consenting adults. There is no spectrum of private consensual relations. There is just privacy that protects all people, as long as they don't harm others. That's sweet. Brown released a statement applauding the ruling, saying that while we know that many people do not approve our plural families, it is our family and based on our beliefs, just as we respect the personal and religious choices of other families. We hope that in time, all of our neighbors and fellow citizens will come to respect our own choices as part of this wonderful country of different faiths and beliefs. Among those who cried the ruling was Russell Moore of the Southern Baptist Convention's Ethics and Religious Liberty Commission, who told the press, "This is what happens when marriage becomes about the emotional and sexual wants of adults. Divorced from the needs of children for a mother and a father committed to each other for life. Polygamy was outlawed in this country because it was demonstrated again and again to hurt women and children. Sadly, when marriage is elastic enough to mean anything in due time, it comes to mean nothing." Tom Perkins of the Family Research Council noted that same-sex marriage advocates have told us people ought to be able to marry who they love, but have always downplayed the idea that this would lead to legalized polygamy, a practice that very often victimizes women and children. But if love and mutual consent become the definition of what the boundaries of marriage are, can we as a society any longer even define marriage coherently? Matt Staver of the conservative pro-family group Liberty Council said he and other champions of traditional marriage have warned of this slippery slope in their efforts to stop legalization of the same-sex marriage. If marriage is deconstructed to include people of the same sex, then there is no logic or legal agreement to ban polygamy or polyamory. He said same-sex marriage is the abolition of marriage and will destroy the most basic foundation of family and civil society. Nothing that marriage predates government and civil authorities. Staver challenged that the right of legislative bodies or courts to redefine its parameters. Marriage was not created by religion or government, and is ontologically a union of one man and one woman, he said. Deconstructing marriage will hurt children and society. And some interesting viewpoints from both sides of the coin. I'm just wondering what would Magus Peter T. Gilmore, who was the high priest of the Church of Satan, will say about this. I'm just real curious. I'm about to hit his website as soon as possible. But it's the main idea behind this that got the case on Mr. Brown's favor was consenting adults. It is strange to a lot of us, which is understandable, because in good faith, I believe a marriage is between a man and a woman, but that's just my personal views. I cannot ramrod this down other people's throats or conscript it. All I'm saying is all in good faith. And with that note, I would like to let's do a little verification on the Utah State Constitution. There's some interesting stuff in there too. And we can look at Article 1, which is entitled Declaration of Rights. And we'll just start by looking at Article 1, Section 1 of that document. And it states, all men have the inherited and inalienable right to enjoy and define their lives and liberty, to acquire, possess, and protect property, to worship according to the dictates of their conscience, to assemble peaceably, protest against wrongs, and petition for redress of grievances, to communicate freely their thoughts and opinions, being responsible for the abuse of that right. Alright, we'll just hit Section 2. All political power inherit in the people. All political power is inherited in the people, and all free governments are founded on their authority for their equal protection and benefit. And they have the right to alter or reform their government as the public welfare may require. It's going to be an interesting battle in the Beehive State. Years to come, in my observation. Now let's go hit Section 4. Religious liberty. The rights of conscience shall not be infringed. The state shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, nor religious test shall be required as a qualification for any office of public trust or any vote at any election, nor shall any person be incompetent as a witness or juror on account of religious beliefs or their absence thereof. There shall be no union of church and state, nor shall any church dominate the state or interfere with its functions. No public money or property shall be appropriated for or apply any religious worship, exercise, or instruction, or the support of any ecclesiastical establishment. It's pretty. This is Utah State Constitution. All right. And we'll just go around further here. Same article, 25. And 25 is entitled Rights Retained by People. And it confirms, this enumeration of rights shall not be construed to impair or deny others retained by the people. Hey, let's hit 27. Fundamental rights. Frequent recurrence to fundamental principles is essential to the security of individual rights and perpetuity of free government. Yep, I'm just learning words too. Don't worry about it. But interesting about Article 1, Section 25 and 27 was the equivalent to, in my honest opinion, based on what I read, the 9th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Interesting, right? Alright, and we'll hit 29. Marriage. And it reads, Section 1, Verse 1, Marriage consists only of the legal union between a man and a woman. And Verse 2, no other domestic union, however denominated, may be recognized as a marriage or given the same or substantiality equivalent legal effect. Well, this is going to be a catch-22 on Article 1, Section 29, because if you read the other sections in the article, 1, 4, 25, and 27, does that supersede 28? I would like to see a good debate with some of these chaps. You know, have, what's his name? Have that one gentleman from Tom Perkins. Yeah, or Russell Moore to be exact. Russell Moore and Peter Gilmore, about marriage and consensual adults, responsibilities. That's going to be pretty interesting. But I just give my little view on it. And like I said, in good faith, I have my views, but I'm not going to shove it on anyone else's throats. So that's good for now. I'm going to be signing off, and remember, send your comments, your thumbs up, thumbs down, middle fingers, it doesn't matter. And that's it. So this is Craig signing off, and you guys take care. Positive blessings to all.